what we're gonna do. We're gonna bicker like children.
When don't we bicker?
We are
You're right.
children.
Fuck you and fuck you and fuck you.
Hey, fuck all of you.
Okay.
By the way, we're recording.
Breaking up.
Oh, we're already recording.
Oh yeah, I got that entire last bit where you were going off about like fuck everybody.
Okay, well, fantastic. Hello, everybody. It's me and us, ya boys. Welcome to another episode of the Saturdays Are for the Boys podcast. I'm Hayden, and with me is Connor.
Yo.
Angel.
Hola.
And Mills is absent this episode, and we'll see when he comes back.
He's like a guest member. He only shows up once in a while.
Dude, we are the Murray Franklin show, and he is Joker. We only add him on occasionally.
Oh no.
Okay. So, do we know what we want to talk about today? Want to do something serious? I don't think we've done something serious. Well, I mean, shit, the last two episodes were our school trauma, so that's serious enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That was good enough.
Let's open up with a funny one, then maybe descend into something serious. So,
Okay, fair. Oh wait. Let me like reorganize the documents that we know what we fucking talk about.
Did that one. Oh, whoops.
Oh,
Shit. Shat.
No, we're not doing the shat thing.
Yeah, just Control Z, dude. Just
Control Z. Yeah. All right. So, shat.
dumbass.
I'm working on it.
For everyone that can't see, I'm
we did
witnessing
not talk
two
about
morons
workspace.
try to work a Google Docs.
Hey, oh, fuck you.
Hold up, Connor. I'm thinking this one. Favorite shitty meme.
I've got a lot of those. Hold up.
Angel, we were just talking about this the other day, weren't we?
I think so.
Oh god, what was that meme format? Mafia?
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah.
Okay, so is that what we're starting with?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I think we should start favorite shitty meme.
Okay.
We're pretty in the know on memes. We're pretty active in the meme community. So we know which ones are terrible. Now, I already know what the two meme formats that are shitty that I absolutely love. Do you guys have yours ready? Or do you need a minute?
I'm gonna need a minute.
Okay. Angel, do you know yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite shitty meme format for me. My two favorite ones are Cardo memes and That's How Mafia Works memes. I don't know what it is about the That's How Mafia Works format, but all their stupid advertisements for their stupid game are just so creatively bad you can't help but be like, yeah, all right, I play that game. And then, of course, Ricardo is just Ricardo. I had him as my profile picture for a long time. You cannot watch a Ricardo meme without being like, all right, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, it's still Ricardo. So, shitty memes, my two absolute favorites, though.
Fair enough. I think my favorite shitty meme, you remember the Here Come Dat Boy meme when that was going around? I don't know why, dude. I just liked it for some fucking reason.
Here comes that boy. Oh,
It was
shit,
dumb
say
as
what
shit.
up.
It was... It was the dumbest shit, but I don't know, man. I just liked it, you know?
You're right, it was dumb, but it was good, too.
Yeah, dude. It had no versatility, but it was still pretty nice.
The only versatility it had was just being shoehorned into other memes.
Yeah.
Like, if nowadays it was like a Call Me Carson meme, like if someone enters his room or something, it would be a dat boy.
A dat boy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ooh.
So,
No.
yeah. That's mine. Angel, what about you?
Mine is one of two. The first one being the cat with the, like, crying eyes.
Oh, don't even talk to me about cats with crying eyes. Those are my life. What do you mean those are shitty memes? Those are beautiful.
Yeah, they're shitty because it's just like first of all, I connect too much to it because half of them are like the cat lost food. So it's just sitting there.
Fuck. We're gonna need to pause for a minute. I gotta fucking take this phone call.
So we go back to my second favorite meme.
Sure.
Yes.
The one that I basically just do on my own. Not many people have started. It's not necessarily a meme. It's just really shitty. Of taking some type of memed picture and constantly zooming it in and sending all of those to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I love those meme formats too, where they like just take the same image and keep overlaying the joke text, like the top text and bottom text. They just keep writing over it, and deep frying the image to hell and back.
Yeah.
So
Deep
it's just
fried
like
memes.
you can't. I love deep fried memes.
Deep fried
Not
memes
good.
are a fucking art form, dude.
Not really good for you because they are deep fried, but you know.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to do, but I'm kind of a health nut.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Alright, so I think that kind of covers the fucking shitty meme topic, right?
What? Where'd he go?
Where'd what go?
Oh, I'm doing a mission in Warframe where I'm supposed to capture a guy, and he literally just disappeared in a cloud of smoke.
Oh, nice.
Where'd he go? Gone.
Yeah, it's just, okay, I guess he gone. Okay.
Whatever.
So there's a little warm-up topic.
Yeah.
Now, I think we should either talk about
we could do the work stories, or do we want Mills here for that one?
I don't know. We might want Mills for that one just because warehouses are stupid. I actually do have a good shitty work story, but I'll save it. It was the only job I've ever no-called, no-showed at because they fucked me around that bad. When I explain it, it's not going to sound like that bad, but at the time I was like, dude, really? All right, favorite conspiracy theory.
I knew that's what we were
I've got a good one for that.
Yeah, I got one too.
All right, who wants to start?
You know some of my conspiracies.
Yeah. Let's not use one of those.
We're not going to get into those ones. We're not going to get into those ones. One of the conspiracy theories that I've been kind of it's not like the moon landing or anything, but like that the Titanic was sunk on purpose. So this was during the time when the U.S. Economy, our money was still like, we didn't cut all this out because I'm stumbling. Give me a second. I need to actually.
Today, Junior.
All right, do you just want me to go first, then will you get your shit together?
Go first while I think about what the fuck that form of banking is called.
All right. Okay, so my favorite conspiracy theory. It's not one that I believe, but it's pretty just entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever heard? Have either of you ever heard about the theory that Finland doesn't exist?
Yes, but I'm going to pretend like I don't. So please, dominate.
Okay, so basically after like I think World War II or some shit, Japan and Russia like struck up some kind of like deal where they were going to use. Is it the Baltic Sea that's up there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know fucking geography. That's a class for nerds.
Same, dude. But yeah, so they'd struck up some kind of deal where they were going to use like the Baltic Sea to like fish and do whaling and all that shit. But the way they wanted to do it, they drew up a map and created Finland on this map so that they didn't have to like get permissions or like get grants and all that shit written up.
Okay.
And so it's pretty much just like a fucking whole theory that Finland was created for Japan and Russia to just illegally fish and whale out there.
Uh-huh.
and everybody that lives in Finland is actually just living in like Norway and Sweden. And
it's just
the
like one big like inside joke, like, oh yeah, I live in Finland.
yeah, and like the entire Finnish language was created just like as a fucking ploy to keep it covered up.
Okay. There you do realize the Soviet Union invaded Finland though, right?
Yeah, like I said, it's not a theory that I believe in at all, but it is so fucking entertaining.
Alright. I dig it. Hey bro, where are you from? Finland? Yeah, funny, dude.
It's not a fucking real place, bro.
It's not real, bro. I don't know. Doesn't seem real to me. Angel, what's your conspiracy?
One of the ones that I don't remember, I watched this a while ago, but the shit about like the signs of the apocalypse happened. And that there's like 7 different signs, and people have found situations that have happened over the years that have like correlated with that certain sign of it happening. And one of the last one is like the I think it's like 7 horns that go off.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been like tabs taken of like just odd horn sounds going off in different states at certain times, and we're like on the last one that was like recently heard. So they're like, yeah, the apocalypse is coming. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a conspiracy theory that I like is that the Titanic was sunk on purpose. So, because there's a couple of coincidences there that don't really. They say that J.P. Morgan, millionaire banker, planned the Titanic disaster to kill off rival millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim, who all perished aboard. The theory hinges, and I'm reading this, by the way, because it's going to explain it way better than my stumbly little words ever could. The theory hinges on the fact that Morgan had originally planned to sail on the Titanic, but changed his mind shortly before it took off. Now, these guys, they were opposed to the creation of the Federal Reserve. And these 3 guys, obviously, like the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve isn't actually owned by the government. It's called the Federal Reserve, so people think it's part of the government, but it's a private company that's in control of basically the entire US currency. So JP Morgan, absolute millionaire, why would he not want all the absolute million? So, they think that it was sunk on purpose because these guys were, like, obviously they were millionaires too, so they probably had sway and shit, that they didn't want the Federal Reserve to be created. JP Morgan did, so he's like, yeah, you know what? Let me just let me just cancel my ticket and crash the damn ship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that scene from Batman. They expect one of us in the wreckage. But in this case, it was 3 millionaires.
Huh.
So I could personally believe that they sunk it because there's a lot of anytime there's a lot of money involved, you know, there's always shady shit going on.
True.
Like
True.
even nowadays too, like people will do just stupid bad things to keep their money.
I mean, yeah.
Like, and this might get a little too serious, and I'm not going to go into it, but the whole, like... yeah, never mind. No.
I mean, yeah, like the whole, like the whole money thing kind of makes some conspiracy theories just seem a bit more real. That's kind of why, like, the only conspiracy theory I can kind of buy into is that mattress stores are all just money laundering services.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or, shit. That's
they never go out of business.
Yeah, they never go out of business.
But nobody goes into them.
You always see like 3 or 4 like on the fucking in the same complex for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like within 5 miles of each other is always a mattress store. It's like I have no doubt that
mattresses that much, dude.
I have no doubt that people have bought a mattress from a mattress store at some point.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That it's the same shit that like the mafia does. Like they have a front.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's all like they do a restaurant, but they're also laundering money out the back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's... yeah, Angel, huh?
Angel.
Relatable?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I can totally actually believe that conspiracy.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
that's really the only one I can buy into, honestly.
I buy into several, but they're pretty controversial, like tragedy level shit. So I'm not going to discuss it.
Yeah, let's not go into this.
It involves 3 certain numbers, between 8 and 13. Let's just say that. So, do we have like dumb conspiracy theories that you just don't believe in? Like, you don't get how people can believe in it?
Flat Earth.
I don't know, bro. NASA seems to be the only ones who have been to space. I don't know. Flat Earth.
Straight up, that's the only one I've got.
I don't know. At this point, I'll just believe anything. Like, if I can't see it with my own eyes, it's like, all right, yeah, I guess I gotta believe it.
I mean,
I
have
haven't
you ever
seen
been to
any.
Finland?
Dude, if I was like the fucking sleeper agent right now and that was my activation word. Just, have you ever been to Finland? Someone said Finland must eliminate. Finland's just a vast. That's where we're hiding all the fucking. That's where we're hiding Tupac. That's where we're hiding Biggie. that's where actual Area
Yo, that
51
makes this
is.
theory so much better.
Finland not only isn't real, it is real, and it's like Area 52 or Area 51.2.
No, it's Area 69.
Fucking shut up, dude. Well, everyone knows Area 420 is in Jamaica, though.
Yeah, but where's Area 69?
Yeah.
Germany, they got a lot of weird porn there.
Shit.
Involving that, actually.
Oh my god.
What?
That one went over your head. You said shit.
Oh.
There we go.
Actually, I think that's like the Dutch more than anything, but
No.
hey, how about those Europeans? A bunch of just crazy characters, wacky folk,
Pretty cool.
driving on the wrong side of the road. Ah ha ha. Funny joke.
Okay. So we're
You mean
20
just
minutes in.
Paranormal experiences one?
I don't
Ooh.
have a story for that, so that would pretty much just be you and
Well-
Aiden. Do you have one?
I have 2, actually, and
Shit.
one involving aliens, one involving ghosts.
Okay.
So, Angel, you probably... Actually, Angel, you take a while to tell a story. You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay, so there's 2, and I will start with my most recent one. So, fuck, I was probably like 15 at the time, so like 6, almost 7 years ago. Me and my dad, we went on this road trip with his now wife and her kids, and we were going to a wedding up in Montana, and Montana's not really a hugely populated state. So we were just on the outskirts, and it was like the day before the wedding. And me and my dad, because we both like guns and stuff, he brought his guns, and I didn't have any at the time, obviously. But it was like, all right, you got the rest of y'all go do whatever. Me and the boy here are gonna go shooting. So we drive a couple miles outside of town. Now this was a small town anyway. Like, think just small, average Midwest town, small.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of shit going on. So there was a gun range just outside of town, and I can remember like this the whole time like we were driving there. I just had like this kind of like weird feeling, like, huh, am I gonna see some shit today? Which I don't know why I was thinking that, but I don't know. You just get like feelings sometimes. And I'm not saying like I'm a psychic or anything, but you know, when your gut's telling you something, you can kind of like not pay attention to it, or you can pay attention to it. Anyway. So we're driving a couple miles outside of town down a dirt road to where the shooting range was. So we get at the shooting range, shoot a couple rounds, have some fun. It's fine. So this was during the time, like I think it was like early spring, so it was still getting like cold out. So after we get done shooting, I'm looking. So where we were, the mountains, like we were like in between, like a valley in a mountain, like mountains to our left, like 100 miles that way, or actually probably like 70 miles, and then like mountains directly to our right. So the ones that were further away, it was like I see like these super dark storm clouds rolling in. And so me and my dad, like we finished up shooting and then we decided to be on our way. So as we're driving with like the super close mountains to our right and the far away ones like 70 miles or whatever, which I would guess just because maybe not even 70, more like 30. I'm bad at distances. Anyway, I just have like this urge to look over, and it's like, because I feel like something's over there that I need to take a gander at.
Mm-hmm.
So I do, and because the storm's still coming in the storm clouds, I see these, it looks like two balls, for lack of a better word, like two blue balls of like lightning, and they're just swirling. Yeah, dude, the sky was feeling real pent up that day. Anyway, so I'm seeing like these two balls of, they basically looked like lightning, but they weren't like thundering and striking. They were just two constant blue balls. And in the sky, they were just like flying around each other. Like they would be like right next to each other. Then you'd see him spin around. So I'm like, yo, Dad, take a look over there. Are you seeing this shit? And he stops the car and we both get out and we're like, yeah, like he's seeing this shit too. And I had to make sure. It's like, wait, like, are you actually seeing this? Do you see what I'm looking at right now? Yes. So we're watching these two orbs, I guess, balls of lightning, but they're just constant. Like two, they look like light bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like seriously swirling around each other, and then they just stop. Like they're swirling, whatever, doing their thing, and then they're like left and right of each other, and they just stop. And me and my dad are watching this shit, and then we just see him slowly fade, like retreating back into that oncoming storm. And me and my dad are just both like, what the fuck was that? Like we were both just like kind of at a loss. Like there is a rare phenomenon called ball lightning, where lightning seriously does that. Like it just turns into a ball and it does its own thing. Well, that didn't really cover what we saw. So looking back on it, it's like, could that have been ball lightning? Yes. What do I think it was? I'm not really huge into like the aliens anymore. So what I think we were seeing, because like in Tucson, Arizona, and like people will just see strange lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's hotspots where this shit happens, and a lot of people say those are government aircraft with like cloaking technology, which doesn't sound like super nerdy or whatnot. But I can totally believe that what I saw that day was some sort of government plane or stealth ship or whatever, just chilling, watching, maybe doing something with the weather. Like, oh hey, let's there's a storm coming in, because Montana's not super populated. Like Alaska's more populated than Montana, but actually no, Montana's more populated than Alaska.
Yeah,
actually,
that makes a bit more sense.
No. Actually, I think I was right. I'm pretty sure more people live in Alaska than do in Montana. Wyoming.
Let me fact check you on this.
Fun fact: Wyoming is actually the least populated state in the union.
Why am I not fucking surprised?
There's a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Okay, so man. Montana, current population as of 2018, 1.06 million.
All right, so like 1 million people live in Montana.
Yeah.
And Alaska?
Looking at them right now. 737,000 as of 2018.
Okay, so I was wrong. Anyway, there's still only 1 million people in Montana. It's a lot of open land. I can totally believe that the government has like some sort of secret facility out there, and if they were just like testing out this aircraft, and it's like, okay, let's see how it does in storm weather. It's cause, I mean, like we were on the outskirts. It was kind of close to a town, granted. So, I mean, when doesn't the government like to keep an eye on things?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can totally believe. I don't think it was aliens. I'm more inclined to believe that it was something man-made or some natural phenomenon that was just really flippin' spooky. My second story, if you still want me to continue.
I mean, yeah, we haven't even hit the 30-minute mark.
All right, badass. So, 2 years ago, like 2018, I was living in Indiana, and I was dating a girl at the time, and her family, she had like this house kind of like on a plot of land, middle of nowhere. It was nice. Well, this girl, she told me after the fact that she was into Wicca stuff, and I'm not all about that Wicca stuff. I think it's weird. I think it's scary. I think a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're dealing with when they get into that sort of shit. So anyway, looking back on it, so shut up, Angel.
Go on.
So, we were staying like one night at her house. We just got back from her parents' like campground where everyone was drinking, having a good time. It was great. So we come back and I make dinner. We're sitting watching a scary movie. So something about her house though. Her house was like very like it was cozy and it was nice and I loved it. But her room always had like it always felt like when you walked in there was like something above your head. Like it felt like the ceiling was a lot lower than it was. It just like felt like off. And I don't know if you've ever had that, like where you walk into some place and your gut is just like, okay, I don't know what the vibe is here. Let me put it in layman's terms. It had a very off vibe. The vibes were not scrumpaducious.
Whack vibes, I got you.
Yeah, the vibes are pretty whack in our room. So we're sitting watching like a scary movie or something, and the rest of the house is dark. Now the thing, because her parents' house was like pretty much in the middle of nowhere, over the windows and stuff, they didn't have like blinds. It was just like open window. So when it was dark out, anything could see in and you couldn't really see out. They did have like this big old fluffy dog to watch the property and park at coyotes and raccoons and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was about the extent of what you could see outside, was a dog going woo 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 woo. Anyway, so we're watching a scary movie, and in her living room there was a big ass window directly to my left that could see outside. The kitchen was dark, and the kitchen connected to the laundry room, and there was no doors between them. It was like a one-floor house, everything connected. So as we're watching this scary movie, I keep feeling like something's watching me through the fucking window. And I never took a look out that window because I'm not an idiot in a horror movie. But it's just like, okay, something, I feel like I'm being watched. But we're watching a scary movie. I'm just getting in the mood. I don't like scary movies. So the fact that we were watching this, I was already just like on edge. Anyway, so we keep hanging out, doing whatever, and I start feeling something watching me from the laundry room, which is in the back of this dark kitchen. I thought I saw something move back there. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? This is too spooky. We're gonna finish this movie and retreat back to her room. So she starts cuddling up on me, and obviously I know what she wants, but I swear to God, like I'm still being fucking watched. So we start making out, whatnot, and I'm like, hey, let's go back to your room. She's like, okay, sure. So we go to her room. I lock the door just because I felt like, because once we turned off the light in the living room we were in, the rest of the house was pitch black, and that's spooky. So I locked the door because I'm still like freaked out from this movie we were watching. I can't even remember the movie, but so we started making out, doing our thing, and I swear to God, this whatever the fuck is watching me is now just like chilling in the dark corner because we didn't have a light on. We had like a candle, which bad decision because candles have like zero light. So flames flickering, whatnot. And I'm just like, the rest of the room is dark. And I swear to God, I'm just being watched by something from this dark ass corner of a room. So we do our thing, whatever, finish up, and we go to bed. So I make sure that door is locked. She cuddles up on me. She falls asleep, and my eyes are still just like pacing around the room. Like, okay, what the actual fuck is going on? Because I haven't had like many paranormal experiences. I was just like getting into like the whole spiritual stuff around this time. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Is there a ghost here? Am I just freaking out? So I eventually resigned myself to just, I'm freaking out. Eventually I did fall asleep, but it was not easy to. So the next morning, like I drove back to my apartment because we didn't live together, and my apartment was about 60 miles away from her. So I'm driving home, and she starts telling me about this weird dream she had that night, like the same night all that weird shit was happening. So she was like, that whole entire week she was having a lot of trouble like sleeping and insomnia and having nightmares. Well, that night, like shit kind of came to a head. She said she was having this nightmare, like, you ever like have one of those dreams where you wake up and you're in your room, but you're not actually awake? Like you're dreaming the whole thing.
Oh yeah, you just inception yourself.
Yeah, you inception yourself. So she was telling me about this fucked up dream she was having where she like woke up and she, for some reason, like looked over to check her phone, and in the notifications it was saying like, oh, you have a voice message, like you have a voice memo. And she's like, okay, what the fuck? So she listens to the voice memo, and it's like just static, and she hears like something just like, and it was like, I was like, so it was breathing at you? She's like, no, the thing was fucking laughing at me. Like, it was like, yeah, I'm here. What the fuck you gonna do about it? So right then and there, I knew, okay, it wasn't just because of this scary movie. Something seriously was just chilling out with us that whole entire time. While we're watching that movie, while we're making out, while we're doing our business, while we're fucking sleeping, something was in the room just like, hey, guess what? I'm here, fucker. So I tell her, like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And like, I think we discussed the Wicca stuff earlier, actually. So I was like, sorry, coronavirus hitting hard today.
Yes.
Oh God, I wish that were me. No. I start asking her, like, do you have anything in your room that could be like fucking creepy? She's like, well, I still do have this Wicca book. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I asked her why the fuck she still had this Wicca book. So she started getting into Wicca. Like, her previous relationships were like, she had like drug problems and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she got clean from it, luckily. But her previous relationships were like kind of abusive. Like, she was a lesbian for a little bit before she met me, and her girlfriend was just like this kind of trash person, and she was getting into like drugs and shit. Actually, can you cut that last part out? I don't want to mention her name.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, she was.
I can just
getting
censor the name if you want.
Yeah, okay, that works too. So, she was getting into drugs and shit and just going down this dark path. And so she started getting into Wicca because she said, oh, it made me feel in control of stuff. Like, it gave me some semblance over control in my life, which is immediately to me like, okay, well, you invited a demon in your house. Thanks. So I told her, like, look, you got a week before I come over. Here's what you got to do. You got to go out, buy some sage, get rid of that fucking book, sage your room, push all the smoke out your window, get that shit, whatever the fuck, out of there. So next week rolls by, and I'm like, all right, what'd you do with the book? She's like, well, every once in a while, because there's no landfill. There was in an area where you basically burned your trash if you had it.
Mm-hmm.
So she was saying, like, occasionally, like a couple times a year, her family will make a run to a dump. So her dad was making a run to the dump. She snuck that Wicca book in there. He took it to the dump, never saw the thing again. Mm-hmm. She saged the shit out of her room, and I could tell as soon as I walked in, the ceiling wasn't just pressing down on you. It was like her room was like just, oh, it's like it has good vibes. It's happy. It's chill. It's very bright, and it's like, all right, awesome. Didn't have any more problems or paranormal shit after that, and all was well. But it's just creepy to think about now that, like, hey, I'm a demon. I'm watching you guys. Best be careful. Wait, what?
Ghost was just out here trying to give your girl the phantom dick, dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, they were trying to. They were trying to give my girlfriend the phantom menace.
So.
What'd you say, Angel?
That is a possibility. That is a thing. So.
What I'm thinking was, like, why shit kind of came to a head is because we were watching that scary movie and we were both freaked out. And that thing was just like, all right, time to take advantage of this.
Probably.
Yeah. He was just trying to get his dick wet, bro. Like, can't blame a guy.
Got some dick, man. I'm selling some dick here. Ghost dick. Show my dick the phantom menace.
It's real nice.
Yeah, buddy. But, yeah, those are my paranormal stories. I'll probably have more in the future. Hopefully not. Because that shit's spooky if you don't know what it is. But, yeah, two most paranormal shits.
That's when you ask your one friend that knows about this shit.
What's that, Angel?
I said that's when you start asking your friend that knows about this shit questions.
That's what I do. What are you talking about?
You did before. You just decided to bully me about it.
I used to bully you a lot. No, I don't bully you. What's the matter?
Yeah.
Damn, it's like you're getting your feelings hurt or something.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
I mean, I don't have any stories, so yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, I know. You fucking weenie. Never saw a ghost before.
Dude, the fucking ghosts avoid you because they're like, ugh, autism, I don't want to get that.
Exactly, dude.
Little did you know, autism is contagious to ghosts. Debate me.
It's contagious.
Why do you think they like walk through walls and scream and shit? It's because they got the aughts.
Oh my god!
They probably like Sonic too.
Do I have to cut that out? Like,
You make that decision later.
We're here getting butter like Sonic. And I don't have autism. You can tell your bud. Oh shit.
Okay, I have like 2 stories that technically feed into each other a little bit, and then I have a shit ton of anything else. But so basically, the first one that is still ongoing, but how it started, because I tell you guys a lot how I have my little demon, I like to call it.
Okay.
I've had just a ghost entity friend of a thing that has like I met when I was very young and is kind of just like stuck to me ever since.
Is this the ant guy?
No, not
Okay.
the ant.
okay,
It's not Ant-Man.
before we get too deep into this, I'm trying to fucking get this surgery scheduled. I'm pretty sure this place might close at 5, and I need to call him back.
No, Lord.
So I gotta go do that real quick. If you guys,
You getting your cyst taken care of again?
yeah, dude,
Oh, dude, fucking nice.
fucking March 26th.
Yeah, that's a ways out. Hey, dude, that's not my birthday. You're right, it's not my birthday.
Okay, so Angel, would you like to continue?
Yeah. I feel like now that y'all brought up the ant thing, I have to explain that just a little bit. In shortness, I have had the animal of an ant pop up somewhere near me, like right around when some type of life-changing experience happens. So the past couple, like when relatives and stuff have passed away, there was one that like came up around that time. When I got into my car accident, there was one that came up afterwards. Just like, okay, yeah, got it. Shit's happening. But so there's that. This is completely different from that. And the way that it started, when I was like younger, we don't go into my attic anymore. It's a small attic. We just like used it for storage necessarily. So once we put stuff up there, my mom doesn't really think about it again. And I used to have like a shit ton of dolls, and we put them all in like a kind of crate thing at one point and just stuck them up there. And I forgot that I had stuck one up there that I still really wanted. So I was like, oh, I'll go up and get it myself. So mind you, around this time, I had gotten a bunk bed, but my room doesn't have tall enough ceilings for a bunk bed. So if I sat up, my head was like skimming the top of the ceiling. So when I laid down, my face was still pretty close to the ceiling as well. So at night, when I'm trying to sleep, I would hear like scratching at the wall, like right where my face was. And so I would like try to tell my mom about it the next day, and she's like, oh, there's probably a raccoon in the attic. We need to get that taken care of. And I was like, oh, okay. But it was like odd, like rhythmic scratching. Like it didn't sound like there was just something like trying to burrow or like trying to get through stuff. I was like, okay. And after a couple of nights, sometimes I would like tap back, like just to get it to stop or like get a reaction. And it would tap doing the same thing as me. So it would start mimicking. So I'm like, this isn't a raccoon. I was like,
it's
okay.
a nasty little demon.
But so finally the one day when like my mom wasn't home, I was like, I'm just gonna grab one of the ladders and go up there because I really wanted the doll and I didn't want to wait for her. And I was like, it's the daytime anyway. If there is a raccoon up here, it's not really up here. So I got up there, looked around, there was nothing. I sat quietly for a minute to see like if I could hear like noises, like if it was trying to scatter or something. It was quiet. So I was like, okay. All of a sudden, closer to the area that's above my bed, I hear the scratching again. So I kind of like looked over and there was nothing there. And I was like, okay. All of a sudden, one of the like plastic crates that we have up there gets shoved towards me and like tries. I was turned around. I just heard it get pushed and it bounces off the back of my legs. So it's like trying to take me out. And I was like, what the fuck? So I turned around. Nobody's there. So I was like, okay. So, but it was the bucket that I needed. So I was like, okay. So I just looked in there, grabbed what I needed, closed it again, and just something in my head started saying, like, almost like a get out, like a bad feeling inside me. It wasn't like I could hear a voice or anything. It was just
Black
me
vibes,
going
I
like,
get
hey,
you.
yeah. It was just like a, hey, you need to, this isn't your space. You need to leave.
You got what you wanted. Now get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So I kind of like didn't bother, but I wasn't like bothered by it, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Like this doesn't feel right. And so as I go to get out, it's like it's a little piece of wood that goes on top of the attic. Ours isn't like an actual door or anything. It's not fancy. It's like if you were still in the school and those fucking like weird cardboard things, tiles that were in the ceiling.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to lightly move it into place. I tried to just nicely move it back into place, and it felt like somebody like punched it down after me. Like, okay. And I was just like, God, asshole. Yeah. I was like, all right, whatever, that's fine. So I tried to go to bed that night. Woke up in a like sleep paralysis type problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not like anything on top of me. Like it took me a couple of minutes, but then I started seeing like a little bit of like a heavy mist shadow sitting on top of my chest. But again, I just still felt in my head like, don't ever go up there again. Almost like an older sibling that was like, don't ever go in my room. It was just like a don't touch my shit, don't go near my room again. And I was
Oh,
like,
get out of my room!
yeah.
Take your
And I
doll
was
and
like,
get the
it's
fuck
in your
out.
fucking room. I was like, my dolls are up there. And I was like, I don't care. So I was just like, okay. So that happened like that. I tried to explain it to a couple of people, and everyone's like, you're stupid, ghosts aren't real. That didn't happen to you. And I was like,
That didn't happen. Okay.
yeah. I was like, okay, that's fine.
I'll go fuck myself, I guess.
Yeah, really. And then as I like grew up, things would just happen where like they would be around a little more. Like I could hear like the drifting past me, or like them going up the stairs because my stairs are wooden, so like you could hear creaking for when certain people are walking. And when you live in a house for so long, you know what each person's footsteps sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it didn't sound like my dog at the time. It didn't sound like my mom. My dad obviously wasn't in the house anymore. So I was like, I don't know who that is, but somebody's walking around. To which also I always had some type of chair in my room. So sometimes at night I would hear them like walk down the hall, come into my room, and then just go sit in the chair. And there would be like, sometimes obviously as a girl, I would use my chair to hold clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And it would still find its way to like climb up the clothes or like kick them over so that you have somewhere to sit.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, I'm like, you asshole. Really? Come on.
Bro, come on. It's not funny.
Yeah. But so that's my little demon that that just is kind of there and roams around and makes his presence known every once in a while. He doesn't harm anything. He doesn't do anything. He's just an ass. So
He's just a dickhead. Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
The way I like to imagine this is like, it's kind of like an older brother scenario. You walked in, he was just trying to like beat his meat or some shit. You interrupted that, and so he's just been fucking with you ever since his revenge.
Have you had to go in the attic since then?
No, I haven't gone in the attic for like maybe 10, 12 years or so.
Jeez. If you need to, just be like, hey, look, asshole. I need to get in here. I'm out in like 5 minutes.
Just
don't be a
knock
dick.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait 30 seconds.
Wait for him to put his fucking ghost stick away.
Yeah.
Basically. But so then the other fun part with that, the next one that happened, this was maybe like 2 years ago at this point. I was watching some type of video, and it was a girl talking about that she lived in an apartment in Los Angeles, and apparently like the entire apartment complex was haunted because there was another girl that similar situation. And it was because, like, some dude had taken his car and, like, floored it off of the parking lot.
God, I wish that were me.
Same, dude. I probably have to cut that out.
Probably. But, so, like, a couple of scenarios like that have happened, or, like, psycho people that have just done weird shit. Ended up causing the apartment complex across the street to start being really haunted. So this girl was having a shit ton of problems. It was like an hour-long video because she couldn't stop talking for once. And it was fine. I watched it. It was interesting to me. I watch it like this all the time. Then I saw on the recommended side that there was a part 2 to this. So I was like, let's see the update, if she was ever able to move out or what happened.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, she just doesn't stop talking.
Yeah, I started skipping through, so it was fine. But for the part 2 one, all I watched was the beginning, where she had said that apparently people that watched the first one were having problems with, like, something happening. So, like, weird, crazy shit was happening to them. And they were saying that her talking about it was, and the video itself was kind of like a portal for whatever this bad energy was hopping through her side and then going and, like, committing
Bad vibes.
Yeah. But so then people were telling her, because then they started getting panicked that they're like, a couple of people at least knew how to handle it or were able to cleanse themselves, or it was like a one odd interaction type of thing. That they were like, hey, you need to either put a warning on the video, take the video down, like do something to let people know that, like, something bad is going to happen if they watch the video.
And great, now you just turned your video into a bad creepypasta.
Yeah. Well, problem was, she didn't want to do anything. She's like, I'm not going to do that. If you watch the video, that's on you. And I was like, I just got done watching that video. Fuck. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? I was like, why didn't she put the warning on it? This is stupid. After 2 seconds of that, and I went, no, I'm not going to watch the second one, because whoever knows if that just, like, makes it more powerful or whatever the fuck that's going to do. I closed it, and I just sat there for a minute, and all of a sudden, downstairs, I just hear, like, shit getting tossed. And, like, things rummaged around. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
Demon was like, God damn it, I wanted to watch that.
Yeah. Either that or it just, like, whatever spawned in was, like, downstairs. And then everything fucking collided. It's like, shit, not again.
So what the fuck was getting tossed around?
So what ended up happening, because obviously, like, not a lot of the times I can hear or, like, see certain entities or shadows. I can hear it and wind up making out what it might look like through the sound. So I heard things like colliding downstairs, and it sounded like large, whatever it was. But then at the same time, I heard almost like 4 steps at a time. So it sounded like a dog, but like a large dog. So I was like, what the fuck? Mind you, again, what?
I just imagine that video, the one that I sent you, the guy in the Lycra suit. I just imagine it was like a guy in a Lycra suit who just broke into your house fucking with your shit. It's like fucking Pink Guy, just, okay, boss. Boss. Anyway,
but so at the time, like, this was a couple of months past when my dog had passed away. So I was like, and sometimes I've had like at least parts of things happen where the people that have passed away around me, like, at least make themselves known a little bit by, like, coming around doing something that they've done. So, like, I have my grandmother's furniture, and on one of the cabinets, if I never used to close it right at her house, she would tap on it to tell me to close it. So when I started setting it up in my room, I didn't close the bottom cabinet. Yeah, I didn't close the bottom cabinet right. So then she started tapping on it to tell me to close it. So I was like, okay. So I heard that it was like 4 feet. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just my dog fucking running around downstairs. But it sounded way big. So I was like, okay.
Maybe he's scaled up.
Dude leveled up, got new armory.
Yeah. Now he's wearing chainmail dog armor.
Fucking dog armor.
Next Minecraft update, please.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
I wish. So, all of a sudden, because I was just like, what the fuck? At that point, I heard it stop throwing shit around downstairs and start, like, scampering towards the fucking stairs. So I was like, no, yeah. So I hear it coming up the stairs, and it's, like, kind of, I could hear it, like, hitting the walls a little bit.
He was so excited to see it. He started bumping into the walls.
Yeah. And so, well, even that's why I could hear at least, like, with my little demon dude, too. He likes to, like, at least not brace the wall, but, like, you could hear if somebody, like, kind of scratches past it. So I could hear, like, the moving on the wall.
Yeah.
So I could hear, like, it just hitting the walls coming up. And I could hear it, like, running down the hall. And then it gets to my door and just goes quiet.
Oh.
I was like, okay. Fuck. Now, this is past the time where I'm already, like, into Wicca shit. I know what I'm doing. I know everything about it. So I have made kind of, like, a barrier, at least on my door. And normally anything that's here or knows that is here acknowledges to not step past my doorway unless invited to.
I will fuck your ghost shit up.
Fuck ghost shit up. But so, like, even, you know, my fucking little demon that decides to sit in this chair, he kind of stops at the doorway, and then you can tell when he, like, knows that it's okay to, like, just come walking in. So you could hear it. So the fact that it just, like, stopped when it got to my doorway, I was like, okay, maybe it stopped. Maybe it's fine. After a little bit, I went to go downstairs to start getting something to eat, and, like, my chest felt heavy for a second, and then all of a sudden I was in, like, a whirlwind of emotions. And not, like, girl, like, PTSD emotions. This was just, like, I could feel myself switching between, like, sadness, anger, crying, happy. Why am I happy? Crying. Why am I crying? What is happening? What the fuck? And, like, it was hitting me hard, and I could feel it, like, whatever was happening was, like, just draining me. And so it happened, and then it finally stopped, and I, like, sat down for a little bit because I got really tired. And then it happened 4 more times within the day, and I'm like, what the fuck? Finally, the last time, I was like, I think I was trying to talk to all of you, and I, like, felt it coming on, so I, like, ran upstairs because I just didn't want to start crying, and you'd be like, what's going on? I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, this has just been happening all day.
My lady waters got spooked.
What do I have to do to never have you say those words in that order again?
Oh, don't worry, dude. It'll come up again at some point. Here's what you can do.
Motherfucker.
So I went running upstairs, and I was like, okay, you know what? And I always remember and acknowledge, like, spirits can't touch you unless invited, as always. So the general, you know, rule of thumb is, like, if you don't want to be touched or used for energy or anything like that, you just got to start saying, don't fucking touch me. You're not allowed to. I didn't. Yeah. So I just, like, calmed myself down for a minute because I was in the middle of, like, crying but being pissed but happy, so I don't know what it was. So then I was like, all right, listen, whoever the fuck you are, get the fuck out. You're done. This is done. You can't touch me. You're not using me for energy anymore. I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't know who you are or what you thought coming in here, but you're not allowed to do this. And as soon as I said all of that, it just felt like everything was released from me. Like somebody was going like this on my shoulders and just went, okay. And like backed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I like cleansed everything the next day and it was perfectly fine again. And I was like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, that was stupid and shitty.
True.
Like, bro, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. And then at the same time, I was yelling at my demon. I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't stop him? You didn't think to get in the way?
He's like, dude, that's not my fucking problem.
Yeah. He just wanted, he wanted to watch and see what would happen. Whatever this was just like poking me all day and then just like watching me burst.
You need to tell your demon, hey, nigga. Actually, sorry, cut that out.
God!
Hey, bro.
Can we get one episode?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know what I am.
Okay.
And you need to tell you attic dwelling loser, hey, you need to start pulling your fucking weight around here.
You gotta start paying rent or something.
He's gonna be like, I don't wanna.
At least he's not like my sisters. My sisters likes to throw ramen on the floor when he wants ramen.
Nice.
He's killing the ramen so he can eat it in the ghost world.
Yeah.
Day one in the ghost house.
What else? I have like other weird eerie ones. The haunted house that I work out is actually haunted. Both of them are.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mine's stupid though.
I would certainly fucking hope so. Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Okay, John Mulaney.
The one about my haunted house. So we have a room that's called the Sisters Room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the like idea that started our other haunted house kind of. But so it's a bunch of mannequins that have like just kind of white dresses on and then black long hair. They look like the girl from The Ring, basically. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of mirrored rooms, so it kind of curves, but it's like a bunch of mirrors bouncing back and forth. And then there's just the mannequins set up in between them, so then it looks like there's more in the room than there are. Mm-hmm. And then about maybe 2 actors go in there dressed the same as them, and they basically kind of just like stand there and pretend to be like the mannequins, and then they pop out and they can scare people. Or one of the girls that used to be in there kind of used to do this thing where she would twitch. And so then she would like lift up her head and she would like completely twitch around. But so everybody knows that room's haunted in a way. And so nobody necessarily likes working in there because the mannequins will start turning their heads towards you, or they'll grab onto you, or they'll they just move a lot. And so people don't like working in there. And one of my friends had a full-on panic attack because one had like turned towards her and then grabbed her arm and wouldn't let go. Yeah, so they had to pull her out of there. And then the next day, they were trying to put her back in there again. And she was like, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And so I was like, all right, fine. So I switched her around because nobody was paying attention after that, so nobody knew. So I was just like, yeah. Like, this other girl, go over there. You could sit next to me and be the go-ahead person. So, like, and that person will go over there. And she was like, thank you.
Nice.
And then she got to see me act like a moron all night. And it made her laugh. So then she was happy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. We do it for the kids, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
The both of us like,
That's what I do. You.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, kids. I guess.
Young crotch gremlins.
Okay. So we've been going for about an hour and 5 minutes or some shit like that.
All right.
I think we can wrap it up now. Unless
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
unless you've got more shit. I know you have more shit, but like
It's up to y'all if you want another one or not.
I don't know, Connor. Do you want to do an hour and a half one? Because I don't know. This is kind of an interesting topic. Who knows if we'll revisit it?
I don't know. I feel like we might. I feel like with work stories, too, we could easily revisit that. So
Okay, then we'll just save it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this week's episode of the For the Boys podcast. I'm Hayden. There's Connor.
Yo.
And there's Angel.
Yay.
Don't get into Wicca stuff. Don't.
No, no, you don't get to bag on it like that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Fucking, if you're gonna do it right. Okay, Brett.
Don't talk to demons. Don't let demons talk to you. Say no to drugs from said demons. And, stay in school.
And follow me on Twitter at Phoenix_Edits. Got a plug.
There's going to be my stuff in the description. You guys find it if you want. I don't care.
All right.
Get you an angel on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Phoenix is going to put her shit in the description anyway.
Yep. All right. So, yeah. I think we're done.
Tune in next time.
When Mills should actually be here next time.
When Mills is back, and we probably revisit more old trauma. So stay tuned, fellas.
See.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.